Hi everyone, it's been a minute since I made my last video, so I'm long overdue, but I've got a bunch of drugstore makeup products that I've never used before, so I thought I would just prop you up in my study because why not? And I can do a little bit of a first impressions video because then you can see what my initial reaction is to the products and whether I love them, whether I hate them. You can see it all here. So I have got a bunch of Almay products that I'm going to be trying out, and the first one I'm going to mention, because I'm not going to use it right now, is this Almay long lasting brow color, which is actually a semi-permanent, well, it's really not a permanent eyebrow tint. So they say it lasts about 5 days to a week, I think. And so I have tried this already, and I did find that it washed off probably a day or two later. So I'm not going to be doing that right now because it sets on your brows and becomes almost like a wax, and then you pull it off. So that's just a bit too much for right now, because now I just want to get my makeup done. But I'm going to start off with this new foundation, which is the Best Blend Forever, and it's quite a cool little product because it's got the foundation in the top there, and then it has a sponge applicator. So we'll see how this goes, how I get on with this. I'm not too sure how I'm going to get on with this. I don't know that I love this applicator, to be honest with you. I feel the sponge, it's fine, but it's a little bit hard on my face. It's harder than a brush would be. So I do feel like I'm pummeling my face a little bit. I'm just not loving this applicator. And I think it will also bug me that the applicator is dirty all the time, whereas generally I give my brushes a good wash from time to time. So yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Anyway, a product that I am loving, that I think I'll just move on to right now because this is not great, is the new Almay concealer, and it's already in my makeup bag because I actually started using this during the week. So I started using this concealer during the week, and let me tell you, I really love it. So we might actually get full coverage from this concealer. So I think I'm going to skip that foundation applicator, and I'm just going to go in with one of my own brushes. What to use? Generally I would use a beauty blender, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this, it's like a kabuki brush. So I'm going to use that to go in and apply this, and you'll see that it first starts off as a white cream, and then I suppose it's an oxidizing process where it gets its color from, and I think this is very, very cool. This is where science meets makeup. So you can already see that I'm getting better coverage from that, and that the color is perfect for you. So I think there is a skin color matching technology in this concealer, but as I mentioned, I tried it during the week and I was blown away. So if it's taken residence in my little makeup bag that I take with me to work every day, then you know it's one of those ride or die kind of products. So that is always a good impression. So I have to say, now that I've applied the foundation and then gone in with concealer, the coverage is much more to my liking. Now that I've applied foundation and concealer, I feel a million times better about this whole foundation story. So let's move on. I have now got an eyeshadow compact from Almay that is quite interesting. That is what we have got to work with. It's called Fabulista. And then I also have quite a light quad palette. It almost looks like rose gold. So I think I might actually just use the quad because I don't feel like taking on too much makeup. Okay, so we're going with this quad. It's quite beautiful with like rose gold shades. So I think I'm going to go for the pink shades first and apply those quite generously on my lids and see how that looks. I'm just using a big brush. So what has been happening in my life lately that you haven't seen? As you know by now, I launched a dress collection. I launched the Arum Lilea dress collection, which has been terribly exciting, and the stuff that dreams are made of, really. So I launched that on the 1st of September, and I'll post a few pictures here and here so that you can have a look at the collection if you haven't already. And I will leave the link to shop the collection down below, so you can definitely go and do that because there are still a few dresses available. So the whole background into these dresses was to create something that's almost bespoke, so something very special. It's all occasion wear. I've designed it all myself, and there are only a few pieces of each dress. So it's very exclusive. They are locally made, fabrics are locally sourced, so they are really great quality. They're not made in a factory, they're not made en masse, so that also like adds to the luxury of them. They are really special pieces, and they're pieces that you're not going to find if you end up going to a store, and you're not going to find yourself in a situation where you end up at a wedding or an occasion, which is the kind of place that you would wear this dress. You're not going to find other people wearing the same dress, which I know I have seen a lot of, because everybody ends up shopping at the same place and it's just a complete mess, really. And I always feel so embarrassed for people like that. I mean, I would just die of shame if it was me. I mean, you would have no choice but to just make a joke of it and compliment the other person on their dress. But that is not a situation that I would want to be in. So I've created my own dresses for people to enjoy as well. So I've kept the numbers of the dresses so limited, so to avoid this kind of situation, because I'm not about that life. Okay, so I feel like I need a darker shade just in the outer corners, and I have a hair on my face which I can't seem to find. So I'm now inside this palette, and it's got one of these applicators which I really don't understand. I don't know if anybody uses them. Please comment down below if you do use them, because I generally just throw them in the bin the moment I get an opportunity to. Okay, so I'm going in with the two dark shades in this palette, the two dark browns, and the color is coming off really nicely. So yeah, the two browns, and then it's got quite a nice highlight shade as well, so I think I'll use that too. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite dark, so I'm going to get the definition that I wanted from this, and the color payoff is beautiful, so that is brilliant. Okay, so I'm just buffing in these dark shades to blend them in, and they are blending in beautifully. I'm going to go with this highlight shade over here. So by the way, I use these two browns in the corner. So now I'm going to use this highlight shade above my brow bone. Hope it's not too much. Oh, it's very pigmented. Because I was quite generous there. I didn't expect it to be as pigmented. Apply it on the inner corner of my eye. It's really opening up my eyes. You can see that pigment is strong. Okay, so I have done my liner and I have also done my blush. My blush is my usual, I think it's called Rose Madison by Maybelline. I've used that on this channel so many times, so you don't need to see that again. Now I have got a new mascara which I haven't tried, and that is Almay's Long For It mascara, and this is the shade Blackest Black. By the way, this video is not sponsored. I just thought I would try these things with you so that you can see my first impressions and my true reflections of my first impressions. Okay, so here we go. Now generally I am very picky about my mascaras. I also have incredibly sensitive eyes, so if there's an ingredient in a mascara that irritates my eyes will go red, they will stream, they will be itchy, they will be really inflamed for the whole day. People think I've been crying, people think I've been sick. It's just not a good look. So one of the reasons that I was interested in Almay products is because they claim to be hypoallergenic, so that for somebody with sensitive eyes and sensitive skin like myself is a massive attraction, because there's honestly nothing worse than spending a ton of money on skincare and face products and makeup, and then you actually can't use it. You have to give it away, you have to find another home for it. So that is just my little troublesome issue. Okay, so the mascara, my first impression is that it is not lengthening my lashes as much as I would like. It seems like a rather conservative mascara, so if you are not one for wearing too much mascara, you'll probably love this because it does the trick. It's black like it says, but as for Long For It lengthening technologies, I'm not so sure that it's made my lashes any longer than they actually were, and it's not thickening them either, and I generally like to have dramatic lashes. So I mean, it's good, but I would like a little bit more, just a little bit, especially that I've gone and put a winged liner on. You want dramatic lashes, otherwise it kind of just looks like you're wearing liner. But not the end of the world, especially not the end of the world if it doesn't irritate my eyes, then actually it's a pro. Now that I'm done with my face, I can pick a lip gloss. I've got two here. Both of them are on the pink spectrum, I'd say. And the one has got like almost blue shimmers in, and the other one's got gold shimmers in. So the one's a light pink, and the one's, I don't know what you would call this. I don't even know what the shade is called. This is called Flame, and this one is called Fairy. It's called Fairy. I think we're going with Fairy just because it's called Fairy, not because I like it more than the other color. Okay, let's, oh, that's pretty. So this has got gold flecks in. Okay, it is not dark, so I don't know if we're going to lose my lips in this. I like it a lot, but I just don't know if I'm too pale for it. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to put some of the Flame shade on as well. And let's see how this goes. I think Flame is probably much more suited to me. Okay, so there we have it. I am now done with my new makeup products. If I can wrap them up, I am not completely sold on the foundation. I do like how it's sitting right now, but the applicator is just the downfall to me. The mascara, it says it's lengthening. It does a fine job. I would just like it to be a little bit longer, but like I said, if it doesn't irritate my eyes, I'm all for it. Then the shadows I think are fantastic. I really think that the eyeshadows are fantastic, and I didn't have much of a expectation for them, but they are really, really great. I mean, should I do a couple swatches? Maybe let me do a few swatches for you. So the browns, there we go. And if I swatch them, there's a decent amount of pigment there, considering I just tapped my fingers in quite lightly. So if I rub them in a little bit more, you can see. So now I'll put my fingers in a little bit more, and they've come out with such great pigment. So I really like that. So that, along with the quad that I used initially, I really, really loved that. They created beautiful amounts of depth, and considering that they are drugstore products, I didn't have much of a high expectation for them at all. Then the lip glosses, both of them I think are beautiful. They've got beautiful finishes on my lips. They don't feel drying, they feel quite moisturizing. The fairy shade is beautiful. I just think I'm a little bit pale for it, so I would definitely use it if I was spray tanned. Flame worked beautifully over that, so I was more than happy with that. And then obviously the concealer that I used, I had already mentioned that I used it during the week. It's called a Smart Shade Concealer, and this is the lightest shade. So it doesn't say on here what number that is, but I presume it's 1 or something along those lines, and I really, really enjoy it. So that is it for my Almay little drugstore roundup, and I'm quite happy with the end results. I think it's pretty decent actually. So I hope you enjoyed. I will check back in with you a little bit later.